All right, so we want to dive a little bit deeper into the overview of what we tested and the studies that we've done for our products. And we're certainly not done because this will be ongoing. There's still so much to explore, so much to discover, and so much to study. But we've done some very comprehensive tests and studies already, and you can look a lot of that up on the website. If you're English speaking, then some of it is not available yet because some of it actually is in German, and we're still translating that, and it's quite an effort. But the most valuable information you can already find. So we worked with two different institutes together. And one is an institute out of Dublin in Ireland. It's the largest EMF testing institute in Europe, maybe also in the world. We don't know. We haven't done that research, but they're fairly experienced. They've done this for a few decades, actually. And first when negative impact of electromagnetic radiation was discovered, they already started doing their research. And it's actually quite helpful because they got a lot of devices that you would need to actually test, can certain products block radiation, what type of radiation, to what extent do they block it, and so we've gotten full certificates for all of our fashion and clothing products, and we've also given them, for example, our Leela Quantum Heal capsule. So that one is a little bit more difficult to test for them because it's not that the capsule blocks EMF. It's not. It doesn't work like the T-shirt or the cap, the hat, the hoodie. It works in a different way because it transforms and it harmonizes EMF. So it's not that you don't have any energy anymore that is blocked. It's just transformed. So now you need to test. Is it really then a positive frequency, positive energy that you're getting to the body? And so a scientific method that has been established over the last decade is to measure the heart rate variability and to check on the nervous system and how that develops. So how does it develop if I am blasted with EMF, or maybe not blasted, but if I just have a cell phone in my hand or I'm using Wi-Fi? So how does that impact my nervous system and the heart rate variability? So they worked with 12 test objects, so 12 people between the age of 12 and 80, females and males from different areas, and they all have different hobbies, different attitudes, different jobs. So it was very interesting because the measurements of 10 people, they showed significant improvements with wearing the Leela Quantum capsule. And they've tested it also over time. So they tested it like after 5 hours, how it is after a day or 2 days, and even after 3 days. And it even got better over time. So already where you saw impacts after 5 hours or a day, with really most people when they were wearing them for 2 days or 3 days during the day, because we recommend to not wear the capsule at night just because it provides so much energy. They felt a lot better. That was their subjective feeling, but they actually tested it and verified it. And so it's all in the report. And then there were 2 people out of the 12 where there wasn't a significant bettering, but the situation was also different because these 2 people weren't as affected. So that's pretty interesting. That's what I said in another video also. Not everybody is so affected, because there are some people that can energetically already expand themselves in a way where it doesn't harm them, and where they're just in a stronger state physically and mentally, so that EMF radiation doesn't do them really any harm. So it's not the same for everybody. But again, for the vast majority, that's really not the case. So those are outliers. And the vast majority is impacted, as can be seen in lots of studies, and also in this study, frankly, because people were impacted quite significantly when they were exposed to the radiation. So that is fantastic. The institute is called IGEF. We're very happy about all those results. And then we also worked with BESA Institute in Europe. It's one of the largest biofeedback and bioresonance testing institutes. They've really optimized their method. They're working with devices over the last 10 years. They have a medical background, and what they test is also a lot of different things. Actually, for them it's much broader. They don't just focus on EMF, even though EMF is, can be said, definitely one area of concern for the human body, and the optimal state the body is in. So we've tested EMF, we've tested a negative impact on the immune system. So if there's anything that impacts the immune system in a negative way, okay, how can that be neutralized or harmonized with our products? EMF in the cars was tested, which is interesting because especially in a car, EMF is quite present. It's a quite heavy exposure. So it was interesting to really test that specifically. Then it was tested, what if the human body is exposed to cesium-137, also to several alpha and beta radiation particles? How does that work? Because we had tested before what our technology can do with water, for example, but how does the body react? And certainly, there's still a lot more research to be done, but at least in this study, across the board, we had positive results across the board. And the results were not only positive, and it can be seen on the website, it was at optimum state. So when our Leela Quantum Heal capsule or the t-shirt was put on, and then the measurements were repeated, we did before and after measurements, then it was at the optimal state, whereas before, where the exposure with EMF was there, or in the car, or with cesium, obviously the body functions decreased significantly and very rapidly. That was the report from the BESA Institute. So then they tested also organ functions, and yeah, I mean, we were excited ourselves. We knew what the products can do, and we've done a lot of different tests, and we certainly had seers and healers that can see what's actually happening in a human body if you leverage these products. But it's then different if you give your products to a third-party institute and they work with 12, 14 different test objects that have no clue what they're doing there, and they don't know anything about the products, and then you have them tested. And it's just absolutely amazing to see that with all of those test objects, the results were positive across the board. Again, that's all I can share here in this video for now. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. But then on the website, you find more information as well. And again, we're working on even further tests.